Mr. J, hey, this is our intermediate video. Today we're talking about the detainees. I shouldn't say poor, because that gives opinion. The detainees, the U.S. immigration captured in the U.S. There's many of them, like 300 Koreans. So that's what we're talking about. It's debatable news, but this is our intermediate level for Thursday, September 11th, 2025. All right, let's look at our words. There's some difficult ones here. So I want you to focus. I'm going to move myself all the way over here to the other side. See, move. That way we can see all the words, I think, maybe at once, and that's a good idea, right? So it's easier for us to go through quickly. Here we go. Detained, illegally. Representatives, criticized, investment, task force, subcontractors, ambiguities, diplomacy, and business. Lots of difficult words, so make sure you understand them. Before we look at this, U.S. immigration authorities detained about 475 workers at a Hyundai-LG power plant, battery plant making batteries. Battery plant construction site in Georgia on September 4th, including over 300 South Korean nationals. Officials claim many were working illegally, either by overstaying visas or performing jobs not allowed under their visa type, such as ESTA or B1. These are just names of visas. Some legal representatives argue that certain tasks, like equipment installation, may have been permitted under B1 rules. That's why it's debatable. The South Korean government strongly criticized the action, with President Lee Jae-myung calling it bewildering and warning that unclear visa policies could discourage future investment. Seoul formed a task force to negotiate a solution and plans to return workers on a charter flight under a voluntary departure process to avoid penalties. Hyundai stated that none of the detainees were its direct employees, instead working for subcontractors. The case highlights visa policy ambiguities, its impact on diplomacy, and potential changes affecting foreign labor and global business relations. Wow, that's a lot, right? So, were they working legally, illegal? It's sort of hard to decide, but the U.S. immigration thinks illegally. All right, here we go. How many total workers were detained at the Georgia Hyundai-LG plant site? This is our intermediate level, so these are all wrong, right? You need to think of the right answer, and with the online quiz. Which visa types were mentioned as possibly being violated? What action did the South Korean government take in response? What did Hyundai state about the detained workers? And what broader issue does this incident highlight? All right, word of the day, appeal. This is our legal word, right? We're doing legal words this week. Appeal, a legal appeal. And then look at this, another type of appeal. She's very appealing, right? To him, maybe. Legal appeal, a formal request to a higher court to change a lower court's decision. Non-legal meaning, appeal, to attract or be pleasing to someone, or to ask strongly for help or support. So that's three meanings. But our picture jumping into Korean. Our picture is about this one, to attract or be pleasing to someone. You can memorize the third one if you want, but you don't have to. All right, pronunciation. Here we have it on the left. There's two syllables. Eel, peel, with a in the front. Peel. Right? Second syllable has the emphasis. Right? Appeal. The lawyer decided to file an appeal after the client was found guilty. The charity's message will appeal to people's sense of kindness. All right, let's look at the weather for tomorrow, Friday, September 12th. In Hanoi, Vietnam, there's a high of 33, a low of 26, and partly stormy. For Mexico City, Mexico, high of 23, a low of 14, and let's see, partly rainy. And Ottawa, Canada, we have a high of 21, a low of 11, and once again, mostly sunny. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.